Thank you, Tom Taylor, for joining me in this series of online interviews. You've decided to run for USU President, and resultantly there has been what only can be described as a pandemic of confusion. Tom Taylor, what are you? And why?
That's a very good and a very bold opening question. I'm a modest man with much to be modest about. Thusly, I suppose, I always thought that I had something to say.
And what is it that you have to say exactly?
Well, very often it's not about what words you say, it's just about having something to say. Ultimately, it comes down to how you say it. I just want to be a voice for the voiceless, but with a voice.
So the voiceless are happy to speak to you. Surely, by definition, that must render them no longer voiceless.
There are many methods of communication for the voiceless, and importantly, it's all about listening, but listening with all of your senses. The voiceless can contact me by writing things down. They can tweet me. They can perform charades.
That's all very...
There's Braille.
Good. Yeah, that's interesting that you should mention students communicating their opinions to you. On York Vision, you're described by a student using the pseudonym Lame as a joketeer. They called your manifesto sick. A student under the name of Supernova, writing on Noose's website, implied that this campaign would lead to a lifetime of embarrassment. Do you think that this could be the voiceless finally finding their voice?
Yes, I've always been a great believer in democracy. I've always championed freedom of speech, even when the opinions expressed have been wrong. I would, however, suggest that we talk about night and day line in a subsequent interview, as we agreed upon earlier.
I'm sorry. So, moving on. It's widely acknowledged that you're not the most attractive candidate. Do you think your mediocre, lackluster looks could hinder your campaign chances?
I'd hope voters wouldn't be that shallow.
Well, a picture does tell 1,000 words.
Yes, but by that logic, history of art students would be the best read, and we all know that's unlikely to be true.
Are you a history of art student?
No, I read music.
Is this something your parents were proud of?
Different people display pride in different ways. There is absolutely nothing to suggest that those weren't tears of joy.
So how do they feel about your bid to be USU President?
I'd say reserved, but quietly optimistic.
Have you told them?
No.
Have you told your friends and family, housemates?
Well, in my defence, I'm not overly popular within my own peer group, or indeed peer groups that are not my own. The elderly like me, but then again the elderly tend to like most people. Perhaps for the most part, they tend to forget who they dislike. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I'm relying heavily on the mature student vote.
And you're confident that with support from mature students with voice difficulties, this will be enough to win you the presidency?
I'm confident that the glass is half full in a good way.
Yeah. Returning to public opinion, a Nous commentator has described you as a joke candidate and stated that there is no need for you. Don't you think it would be wise to try and broaden your appeal to encompass the majority of the student body, instead of heavily relying on a small group of alienated, mature students who are mute?
I think you're putting far too much focus on the questioning feedback I've been receiving.
Well, by questioning you probably mean reasoned hatred.
No, there have been a great many positive comments. I also have a comment here, for example. Another Nous commentator wrote TST, that's an acronym of Thomas Stuart Taylor, which is my name. TST, for every conceivable public office, now and forever.
In all likelihood then that comment was probably written by you or one of your friends.
We've already established I don't have any friends. This year I was forced into living with family friends of my parents because I struggled to make social contacts in my first year.
I think that's a wonderfully tragic note to end on. I think that sums up much of what we've discussed in this interview thus far. Join us next time as we'll be discussing Tom Taylor's policies. Thank you for watching.